one of the great venues to watch a game in any sport and one of the best home crowds in any sport. Soldier Field in Chicago. Just a short time ago, this crowd loud enough to shake the foundations of this nearly century-old building. They are ready for football indeed in Chicago as their guys get set to do battle with the Minnesota Vikings. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, and he opted for the touchback. They will run for the first time with David Montgomery. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of 3 right away, and it's second down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
Little trouble thus far on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 11. To throw is Fields. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 36. And this one will be brought back to the 22. Now the Bears electing to call a timeout defensively. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. And they'll come out with a 3 tight end look on the first play of the drive. Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. Slipped 1 tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Give to Cook out of the gun. And he'll get a couple here down to the 22.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Third down from the gun, it's Mon. Eluding the pressure right. And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield. It'll be a sack and a loss of 3, but more importantly, it brings up 4th down. Now the Vikings will send out the special teams crew here for a field goal try. On the right hash, it's a 43-yard attempt. Joseph's got it. And the Vikings have a 3-0 lead. In the end, the opening drive, Charles, does yield points. Maybe not the touchdown that they wanted, though.
Yeah, but bottom line, they wanted to get something out of that drive, and they did that. 3 points, they won't turn that down at all.
This fielded right at the goal line. And some good special teams coverage as they bring him down just outside of the 15. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, only gave up 3 points off of that, so it shouldn't be a difficult hole to overcome.
It really shouldn't, as long as they're not listening to the chatter coming from the other side, because when you throw a pick, look, I know defensive backs, they have a tendency to be a little bit loud after they take one away, but they also have a tendency to gamble a little bit more, thinking they'll get a second one. Maybe they can take advantage of that with some double moves.
Play action. It's Fields. Rolling to his right. He's got his 6'5 receiver. That's Tim Patrick. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped.
We talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time. Here's where it really pays off. Able to move, evade, and is accurate throwing on the run and picking up a first down.
First down. Here's the run with Montgomery. And some room to run now. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. They went with the nickel look defensively, so they had 5 defensive backs in there. Didn't help them stop the run.
Yeah, I love that, the nickel look. 5 cents, 5 DBs. But what also happens then, you take a big body off the field in order to insert that guy. So you're taking a big off for a little. And oftentimes you can run the football effectively against that defense.
And he'll manage to pick up about 4 at second down. These two teams hooking up for the second time this year. They first met back in October, week 7. And it was the visitors getting the win there, so they'll be looking for the sweep back here at home. On second down, Montgomery. And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup. This defense for the Vikings, they played really well in the win over the Raiders a week ago.
No matter what coverage was called, they were right in the hip pockets of the receivers all game long. Step for step, running their routes with them. Turned out they were right there every time the ball was in the air, and they came away with 5 interceptions in that one.
He'll buy some time right. And he'll be out of bounds, able to get it down to the 25 there.
That's something you have to be aware of as a defense and have to find a way to account for him. And if you're not going to use a spy, you're telling your guys to keep your eyes on him, because when he breaks out and makes plays like that, all he does is hurt you.
Have to at least be able to contain him somewhat. There they could not. Now the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down. Pretty effective run there. Now they can start to smell that end zone.
Pound the rock. Make sure you use your O-line to set the tone of dominance and physicality, and pound the rock.
Back to Montgomery on second down. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. With that last effort, he topples the 5,000-yard mark for his career.
And that doesn't place you among the absolute greats that have ever played the game, but it's a significant achievement and a very, very solid career.
This one out left to the tight end, Burton. And the Bears are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as the tackle made at the 3-yard line.
And coming into this ball game, this was an offense that wasn't just talking about the notion of ball control. They were preaching it. They wanted to win the time of possession battle, and they've done so here. This drive's taken up quite a bit of the first quarter. Now they are set up 1st and goal.
That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be second down.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Only a yard there, and that'll bring us to 3rd and goal. Defensively, I think they can smell a stop. Ball right around the 5 here brings up 3rd.
And I think what they've done is they put doubt in the minds of the offensive guys. What do we do? Because now you don't have a go-to play. Either side they pick, throwing it, running it, it won't be easy.
Steps away. And it'll be intercepted. Carlton Davis picks it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And the Vikings are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. A good run there by Cook on 1st down, powering his way forward, a gain of 6.
He was brought down at the 26. It's a pickup of 6. Brings up 2nd and 4.
3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4. Handoff comes to Cook. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. A lot of running backs, a little bit of a disadvantage when you start talking MVP. Might not be the case this year. You think he's got a shot, don't you?
I do. I think he's got more than a shot. But what he's going to need here down the stretch this late in the season, he needs that big closing game, that game that we're all going to reflect on and go, oh, my goodness, did he put up a number, let's say 200 plus?
On 1st and 10, here's Mon. That's caught by the tight end, Irv Smith Jr. And out across midfield down to the 45.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing, but as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. From the pistol, they run it with Cook. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
A good run got 7 on 1st. Here's 2nd and 3. Now Cook running right, and not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down. Mon looks to throw. That's to the tight end, Davidson. Touchdown! Zach Davidson, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead.
For a big tight end, he can sure move like a slot receiver when he gets a head of steam going. And as a defensive back, you've got a big decision to make when he's moving like that.
Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead grows to 10-0. So the extra point good, and the roughing call going to move the ball out to the 50 for the kickoff.
And I think this is a good chance to pin them deep if you can land the kickoff inside the 5-yard line or so. Gain some field position for your defense.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Vikings pick up the football. And he'll be down at the 6-yard line. He let one slip away last week as well. So now 2 fumbles lost in as many weeks.
Well, we were out at practice, and we watched him work. And what did his quarterback coach talk about all week?
Being a 2-hand monster.
And we looked at each other. 2-hand. Oh, I get it. 2-hand monster. Both hands on the football, taking care of it, putting it away so the ball doesn't get dropped.
It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be 2nd and goal. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
They try again with Cook. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. Give him right around 4 on the carry. We'll see if they want to keep pounding here on 3rd and goal. Now Mon. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Jalen Johnson. And I think he's going to go. They're not going to get him. The 40. The 30. 10. And they will finally put it into the return, but not until he takes it back all the way inside the 10-yard line. Boy, just as they thought they were going to add to their lead, the rug gets pulled from right underneath them on that pick. And now after that big return, might be the other sideline grabbing the lead.
Yeah, very well could be. This is where you count on your defense to go out and make, I'm not going to call it a miraculous stop, but make it very difficult for them to get the ball in the end zone.
And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
They try again with Montgomery. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness. He's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
Now Fields on 3rd and goal. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Burton. They're able to hold him to 3 there, and that leads to a 4th and goal.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
And his kick is right there. It's good. And they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah, will they make up for it? They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Off the play fake, Mon. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And he'll be stopped right at midfield.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
Our score 10-3 with 2 minutes remaining in quarter number 2. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line.
That's a nice run right there, able to get to the outside. And so many times defenses say, okay, we got you hemmed in. But if you're running the football, at least you know where everyone is coming from. You don't have to worry about the backside at all. That allows you to run with a little bit more confidence as you traverse down the field.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Defensively, he has been a presence in their backfield in the first half. Had a sack earlier, and now he comes up with a big tackle for a loss.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. Mon going to throw it. Catch is made here by Irv Smith Jr. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line.
Boy, how about the speed with which this offense can get down the field? It's taken them no time at all to get down here, and now they're set up with a 1st and goal.
They'll run with Cook. Down at the 2. Broke through first contact, but ultimately stopped shy of the goal line. 43 yards rushing for him now to this point. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. They'll run for it with Cook. Stopped short. Down at the 1. Had the broken tackle, but couldn't get it all the way home.
Well, he did get a taste the previous week. He got into the end zone, trying his best to get there in this game. So far, he's been denied.
They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. They'll run it. Here's Cook. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Dalvin Cook, as the first half is winding down. And the Vikings would extend their lead here just before halftime. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead is now 17-3. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And they really won't have much time to work with, just 19 seconds showing on the clock.
They ain't ready for us.
A gain of 3, second down. Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. They'll keep it on the ground again here. Fighting through. Montgomery a first down and then some. And finally down at the 41-yard line. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. They'll run on first down. Montgomery. And he's going to be taken down here as that will lead us to the end of the first half of play. So we hit halftime with our visitors, the Vikings, taking the lead to the locker room. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. All right, Coach, thank you very much as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway. Oh, trying to gauge the sun, and he muffs it. And we will not have a run back here as the second half starts with a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought in the first half they didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys are lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
On second down, Cook. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
Here's Mon. Escaping the pressure right. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. The decision to tuck and run gets him 3, but that's not enough. Now it's 4th. The Vikings send out their punter. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the 3rd. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. 36 yards on the punt with no return. And the Bears take over. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And their defense did its job by forcing the punt to start things out. And now, Charles, can the offense get in gear?
I think, partner, you can sense them saying, okay, the first half was theirs, but now let's get the momentum back on our side. We forced a punt. Now let's go down the field and score. If we do that, we'll be set up well for the second half. And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Running with Montgomery from the pistol. 75 yards for him on the ground now, as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
On 1st and 10, here's Fields. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Picked off at the 35. The 20. So now it appears they're going to accept the penalty, which means take away the interception. Also means keep your defense on the field. Don't understand this one bit. Getting the ball is Cook running left. And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30. These two teams, you may remember, they met in Minnesota earlier in the year with the Vikings coming out victorious. So they're looking for this series sweep here in Chicago. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Just a couple on the ground there, and that's going to bring up 3rd and about 6. 2 yards on the first down carry, and then followed up by 2 yards on the second down carry.
Well, that's definitely not going to be enough to get the job done. Wasn't the expression 3 yards in a cloud of dust?
Now they're going to need 6 on 3rd down to keep the drive going. And he's got his tight end, that's Smith. And he will have a Vikings first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Mond. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Zach Davidson, his 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Joseph on for the extra point. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21 points.
Makes the score Vikings 24, Bears 3.
Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
First and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because their confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline?
A play fake, now Fields to throw. Blitz coming, and down he goes. DJ Wadham in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Well, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
I'm getting the sense that this offense is getting frustrated. Here we are into the 3rd quarter, and they've had plenty of opportunities to get in sync. Thus far, that hasn't happened. They're looking for answers both on the sidelines and in the huddle looking at each other.
Here comes the Bears punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. Yeah, not a great one there. Out of bounds in the air. And the offense is going to be set up already in enemy territory inside the 45. So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook, and he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
2nd and 8. They run it again with Cook. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. 74 yards rushing for him now as he's done it on 19 carries. Following the good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll bring up a 2nd and just about a few inches here. A give. This is Cook. And here he'll get it down to the 7.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And a little bit of space there takes it inside the 5 to the 3. A pickup of 4 on 1st down. It'll be 2nd and goal.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. Dalvin Cook. Touchdown number 22 on the season. And the Vikings are able to extend their lead in the final seconds of this 3rd quarter. Extra point right down the middle. And that'll increase their lead to 28. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not appear that that's going to be the case. There's too much to handle on the other side in this one. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Tell you what, partner, after he ices down, he's going to need a nice long soak in a hot tub after this one. He's been under duress the entire game.
And once again, hit as he throws. Fortunate that one wound up incomplete. The Bears on 3rd down, just 1 for 5 to this point. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. They'll run it. Here's Montgomery. And he's able to get the 1st before he's taken down at the 36. That right there, a good sign for a team that's had trouble converting 3rd down so far this year. They're the bottom 5 in the NFL, but they come through there.
Yeah, and I bet if we put our guy Marvin on the case and say, Marvin, tell us where they rank on 3rd and what, right? I bet they're in the top 5 in the league on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7 or more, because that's how you end up not converting. Just too much yardage to pick up on 3rd down.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. Here's Fields. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
The Bears on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. And this is caught. A spectacular one-handed grab there.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30.
Well, this game is certainly pretty well over. They go ahead and mark it in the win column. But as a defense, they don't want to get so soft now that everybody just throws the ball all over the place against them, gets big yardage, and puts points on the board. They have pride, too, on that side of the ball.
Meanwhile, Fields' throw taken in here by Patrick. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. He's got Burton here. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the first down.
They'll run with Montgomery. Only about a yard there as he takes it from the 9 to the 8.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
And it'll be intercepted. Desmond King picks it. That is now 7 interceptions between last week and this week. 3 in this game, 4 a week ago.
And I saw the head coach write on his play sheet, make a little note. I hope he's writing self-scout. Bring in the guys that scout games for you with a different eye and watch him and see what's going on, and maybe they can pick up what the flaws are, and hopefully they can correct them.
And he powers through the first wave, but he's going to be swallowed up behind the line of scrimmage.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
On second down, it's Cook again. Cook able to escape. And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Third down, Dalvin Cook. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 115 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
First down, Vikings.
Down, yellow, 43.
58, right there. Yeah, let's get
Right, 60.
He's coming. Double up, double up. He's coming, double up.
First down, here's the run with Cook. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got a second down now as they look to salt this one away. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. So they get half of what they needed. It'll be 3rd and 6 upcoming.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
And he's able to pick up the first down before he's tackled right at the 10. At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
Watch the run, watch the run.
And they'll indeed take a knee. So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory, and it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second-half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for Minnesota, it's a 10th win on the year as they move to 10-3. And they'll get another road test next week as they have to go to Lambeau to take on the Packers.